This conference will now be recorded.
Okay. Okay. Till now, where we created our applications?
Anypoint Studio.
Very good. Anypoint Studio. And where we deployed that application?
In Mule runtime.
On Mule runtime. That Mule runtime is hosted where? Where is that Mule runtime?
In Java.
No. I mean, not designed. I'm talking about where that Mule runtime is running.
Locally?
In
The local server.
In Anypoint
And
Studio itself.
local stuff in the Anypoint Studio itself. But
Yeah.
when you go for a production environment, will you find this environment, Anypoint Studio environment?
No, we need to deploy in any server. Yes.
Right. I mean, of course, we need to deploy on a Mule server only. But where is this hosting? That is matters, right? Now,
Web services?
web services. How web service come into the picture?
It's about the cloud.
Okay. You're thinking in Amazon Web Services? It's okay. I can understand now. That's fine. I will let me tell you. There are three types of deployment strategies which we are going to discuss. So what are the three types of deployment strategies?
On-premises?
On-premise. What do you mean by that on-premise?
I mean, locally within client environment.
Local. Basically local environment. Correct?
Yes.
Okay. Next one.
Cloud.
So guys, everyone should respond. Hi, Mike and Ashwini, many other who joined a little bit late. So hi everyone. I'm just trying to cover the topic of types of deployment strategies here. I think Johnny also joined. Hi Johnny. So that's what I'm asking. What types of deployment strategies we are going to discuss? What is on-premises? And there is
Cloud.
cloud. Which cloud?
A platform, integration platform.
What is the name of our cloud platform? Mule Applications Cloud Platform.
Integration platform as service, something like that.
What is the name? Cloud Hub.
iPaaS.
Okay.
Cloud
iPaaS.
Hub is the name of a iPaaS, integration platform as a service. Okay. Next.
Hybrid.
Hybrid is a combination of
On-premise and cloud.
Cloud, right? So we'll discuss about this on-premise and hybrid today. Before going to the Cloud Hub deployment, we need to see many things, many points. Okay. First, let me discuss about on-premises and a hybrid model. So first, we are going to discuss about on-premise deployment. Monsamic is a little bit background noise. Yeah. So I'm going to deploy this application, whatever we created on the day, 01 Mule Basic Start, which is related to Java, right? I want to deploy this application on the production environment, that means local environment. So first of all, how to export this application out of a studio? Okay, I will talk about that, how to export. Once you export, what type of file you are going to get?
XML file.
No. What is the language used in order to create this application?
Java.
Java is the language. If you are exporting application as, I mean Java application, what type of file you are going to get?
Jar file or jar file?
Jar files. Jar files.
Java archive file, right? It's a jar file. Java archive. So Arjun, what is our application name? 01 Mule Basic Start. Right? This is the application we are going to get as a jar file. Once you get the jar file, where you are going to deploy? On the local environment. In that local environment, your runtime is hosted. So definitely we required one standalone runtime How to get standalone runtime? You can directly get from the website. Go to the browser and type for Mule runtime download. One second. Mule runtime download. So there is first link, which is pointing to www.mulesoft.com. Download Mule runtime. Click on that link, which will take you to the, again here you can see one link. Download 30 days free trial. Agree the agreement and click on download. So once you download, you will be getting a zip file like this, which I already given in your workspace. That means the folder which I have given to you, right? So what is that? Are you able to see any Mule EE distribution standalone 4.3 runtime on your machine? Can you please cross check and tell me whether it is only one runtime you have given or two runtimes, 4.3 and 4.2? Can you please cross check and tell me quickly? Quick. How many runtimes I have given on the folder? I think only one.
4.3.0 I could see.
4.3.0. That means
Yes.
Mule Enterprise Standalone 4.0 is the given. I mean that is the zip file I have given, right?
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
that is enough. One is enough. Okay, if you want a older versions of a runtime, please ask me. Okay, you will not get from the website directly. So I already saved in my database. I can arrange to you if you're required, right? No, okay, next. So once you download this zip file, you need to extract the zip file. Please use WinRAR tool in order to extract any zip files in your Mule. Okay, that is my suggestion. So right now I have a Mule EE distribution standalone for Of course, I edited my name. You don't get confused over there. You will be having a Mule EE distribution standalone 4.3. Now extract that. Right click on that. Extract here. You can see one structure of the runtime structure. I mean, basically of the runtime. It's getting extracted. You will see one structure, runtime structure there. So Mule Enterprise Standalone 4.3. This is the runtime structure which contains apps folder, right? Bin folder, conf folder, domains folder, libraries, logs. What contains apps folder? In the tabs folder, we need to deploy your application, place your applications, right? But once you place that application, that should deploy. Where it will deploy? On a Mule runtime. This is the Mule runtime structure. But we need to start that Mule runtime. How to start that Mule runtime? Under the bin folder, we have some executable files, right? So this is the batch file where it will run your Mule application. That means, sorry, Mule runtime, right? Once you start and if you place the application in the apps folder, automatically it will deploy, right? And conf folder, in this conf folder, we have a very important configuration file called wrapper.conf, where I mean, entire your Mule application, Mule runtime is totally dependent on, right? So based on the configurations present in this wrapper file, your Mule runtime is going to start. First, let me deploy the application and see whether it is really working or not. Once it gives an output, then we'll see whenever you start a runtime, how it works behind the scenes, right? So let me go back to the batch file. That means in the bin folder, batch file. Double click on that, automatically start the Mule runtime. Once you start the Mule runtime successfully, we can deploy the application. But where is the application? I have application here, right? So how to export any application out of a studio? How to export?
Export option.
Right click on that, export. Here you can see fourth option, Mule. That means Anypoint Studio Project 2 Mule deployable archive. Archive file means what type of file it is getting converted into? Jar file, right? So just asking for the location. For easy access, I'm sharing it on my desktop. So once I click on finish, you can see it is packaging as a jar file. What do you mean by packaging?
Like one kind of encryption, I mean, putting everything in one file. Or the
Basically, jar file
everything.
contains dependency files. Yes, basically the class files, dependency files, everything putting together in a jar file. Jar is nothing but a zip file. Agree?
Yes.
Jar is nothing but a zip file. Agree or not? Right?
Yes.
Now, I started my runtime, correct? Whether it is started successfully or not. Yes, domain. It's a default domain. This is the log you are able to see in your Anypoint Studio also whenever you deploy the application, right? But you will see one more column, application. Which application got deployed, right? Because with a single click on your Anypoint Studio, you are trying to start the runtime at the same time. On that runtime, you are trying to deploy the application also, right? That is why you can see the application status also over there. But right now, what I've done, I started only the runtime, not yet placed any or not yet deployed the application. Where I need to deploy the application in the apps folder. So which is there on my desktop. Let me copy that. Go to the apps folder. See, whenever I place this file, I said this jar file is nothing but a zip file. Once I placed on the runtime, is it extracted?
No.
No, it is extracted. No, it is extracted and given as a folder. You can see there.
Yes, Ajit.
Okay. That is an see. How can you tell that whether the application is deployed successfully or not? Based on what you can tell.
Seeing log.
Hmm?
You can see that in logs, right?
That means these logs. Yeah, based on the logs you can tell. And one more thing you can see here, there is anchor file got created. If I open this anchor file, can anyone read this?
Yeah, delete
Anyone
this
can read.
file while Guru is running to remove the artifact. And clean it.
So what you can understand from this?
So if you want to undeploy it, we have to remove this file so that it will be removed.
Yeah, that undeploy. When you can undeploy, once it is deployed successfully, then only we can undeploy that, right? But
Yes.
this statement comes when once the application deployed successfully, then only this statement comes true. I mean, a form of anchor file. So can I call this anchor file as an acknowledgement file? Yes, for a successful deployment, right?
Yes.
Okay. Now, can I send a request? What is the request? 8081 slash. Yeah, I forgot. What is the path I've given over there?
Demo.
Let me open and see. Otherwise, unnecessarily time waste. Demo or static?
Static.
Static only, right?
Yes, static.
Static and non-static. Yeah. Am I getting a response? Hello, Sujit from Hyderabad. Right? Bangalore. Am I getting a response as a Bangalore? Right. So, are you able to understand now how we are able to send a request to the on-premises runtime and getting a response? Correct. But thing is, where I deployed the application on the Anypoint Studio. Did I started the runtime here? No, I started the runtime on an on-premises server, which is there on my local machine. Correct. Okay. Can you please repeat the steps what I have done just now? If you observe carefully, tell me the steps.
We have to export the jar file from the Anypoint Studio.
We exported it. Okay. Next.
And we need to start the
runtime. Mule runtime.
Yes.
And copy that.
How to start a
copy
mule
that jar
runtime?
file into.
We have to go to
First of all, how to
as script available in bin folder.
Okay, in the bin folder. In bin folder, what is the file we need to start in order to start the runtime?
mule.bat.
Mule.send.
Mule,
Sujit, can we
mule.
configure that mule runtime batch script as a Windows service?
Yes, yes, you can do that. Or else instead of doing that right away in the command prompt straight away, we can do that as
Okay.
mule batch file. Right, batch file is nothing but instead of writing, I just give you an option to run that file. That's it. Apart from that,
You need
go to the directory where
copy
your
the
application is present.
it into the apps folder.
Yeah. So once you start the batch file, if you observe that, immediately this command starts. Whenever you start the batch file, immediately this command starts. Right? This command starts. Internally, this mule batch file will start one wrapper file. That means this wrapper file name is Tanuki software. Are you able to see Tanuki wrapper? Right? What this Tanuki will do? It will read one more very important wrapper file called wrapper. File name itself wrapper. Where it is present? I shown you. It is present under conf folder, wrapper.conf. Right? Let me open that. So based on the configurations present in this wrapper file, my Tanuki is going to read this wrapper configurations, and based on that, it is going to start one Java application. This Java application is nothing but your mule runtime. So how can I call this runtime as a mule runtime as a Java application? If you go here, as I said, my Tanuki will read all these configurations. Based on that, it will start the runtime. So which version of the runtime? That is also should be configured in the wrapper file, right? Let me show you what that wrapper file contains. Before that, if you want to run any Java class or Java application, what is the syntax? Yeah, to run any Java class.
Java
The
C,
command Java
Java and class file name dot class.
file name, right? Java C is for compiling. To run the application, Java is the command, right? If you want to pass any runtime arguments to this, what is the syntax? -d key and a value. This is a syntax to pass any runtime arguments for your Java application. I'm telling this mule runtime is the Java application. If you want to pass any runtime arguments to this Java application, again, we need to follow this syntax. Remember this point. Now, how can you tell this mule runtime is a Java application? Go to this is the wrapper file, the comments. That means what are the configurations present under that. Just come down. Somewhere you can see here. Just come down. Yeah, here you can see by reading this. Can I tell this is a Java command? Is it a Java command? Yes. Java main class. This main class is pointing to which one? Mule container. Now, based on this configuration, can I tell that my mule runtime is a Java application? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes. If it is a Java application, while running this Java application, I want some configurations to be passed while runtime. What is the syntax I said? -d is the key. Is the syntax. Mule.home is the key, which is pointing to some placeholder. If you open this, you can see here mule_home is pointing to which runtime? What is the version of the runtime? Are you able to see that runtime path is the same path here? Yes? Yes or no?
Yes, yes.
Is it the same
Yes.
path or not? Right? If it is same path, that means that mule runtime, which version 4.3 runtime is set as a mule underscore home, which is pointing to mule.home in your configuration file, right? So which runtime will start? 4.3 runtime will start. At the same time, if you want, these are the by default configuration by giving a placeholder and all. Now, by default, sorry, if you want to if you want to configure any runtime arguments, then already we have 17 arguments, right? Just copy the syntax. And if you want to write any key value pair over there on your own, just give as an 18th configuration. -d is the syntax, right? Whatever the key you configured in your application and value, you need to use that. For example, I want to switch the application between the testing environment and the development environment. So I want to point my database to development database when I deploy the application into the development environment. And at the same time, my application to be deployed in a production environment, then it should point to production database. So product credentials. So what you can do, in my application, I'm giving us my env as a key equal to dev. And which is I'm going to talk about this in a extra, I mean the database concept. Just I'm telling here how to pass the runtime arguments on your own. 18-d key and the value. Okay, if you're not able to understand, ignore it. Okay, in which is I'm going to talk in a exception session again. So this is how you can write the manual configurations, your own configurations. Now, basically understood here, whenever you start a batch file, what happens behind the scenes? You start with Tanuki, and Tanuki will read the wrapper file configurations. Based on that configurations, it's going to start a mule runtime. Assume that my mule runtime is crashed with some external reason. Who will start that again? Do I need to go back to the bad bin folder again, double click on that, start the runtime, or is there any option? My Tanuki, if you see here, whenever you start a runtime, my mule is up and kicking every 5000 milliseconds. Have you observed that line item? Yes, that means Tanuki will check the heartbeat of the child. That means it's a parent and it's a child. Always it will check the heartbeat of the child. If at all it is crashed, again it will restart that out. I mean, after every 5 seconds. Got it? This is what happened whenever you start a batch file. Wrapper.file, conf file is present under which folder? Conf folder. Got understand clearly? Not understood? Any doubts?
So in production environment also, we'll have the same type of setup like the mule server running on.
That's what. If you it depends on whether you are going with a standalone deployment or hybrid deployment or a cloud hub deployment. If it is standalone deployment in the local environment, if you are hosting the same stuff, same concept.
Okay.
Any other questions?
Where are we configuring? I mean, mule runtime JVM sizes. Is it in a wrapper?
In the wrapper file only.
Okay. Can you show us that?
Here you can see X.
That is a
FRX.
message, right? I mean to say some memory size we do allocate, right? 1 GB, 4 GB kind of thing. Okay.
Keep settings like max size. Okay, this is the one.
Yeah, yes. I mean, these and all things. I mean, JVM part and all, we will not take care of that, right? As a developers. I do need to check where we can and all.
Not a problem. Not a problem.
So for mule administration side, I mean, in production, it will be different, right? So
Admins will be there. Yes, sir. Admin team will be there for that.
Even
Which may
for
do
support
maintain the
teams,
servers.
you know, we may come up with some issues like, you know, the mule item is not catering with the what is the required request. You know, in such cases, we need to increase that JVM size and all these things.
Yes. And
I feel
for that
it's
one,
better to know
JVM
that.
is also related. Definitely. JVM is also related to your mule runtime only, right? Basically, behind the scenes is a Java application Java runtime, Java virtual machine should be there. And further, this is the main configuration file. Somewhere it will be there in this configurations
Yes.
only. We need to check that.
How to use the variable here?
Pardon?
So this you have set a variable the deploy environment. You set a date. So how can we use that date variable value?
Which one? Still your voice is not. I don't know what to do. If anyone observed that, I mean, heard that question clearly, can you please translate to me? Translate in the sense I'm not able to hear his voice clearly. Still, your mic problem is not resolved, Mike. Sorry. How to use the dev variable? The dev variable. Just now I shown you know, and write the one more 18th configuration, one more line item, and add -d to pass the runtime argument. From your question, that's what I can able to understand. How to use the dev variable, development variable. Variable is session variable or I mean global variable. What type of variable you're talking about?
I think his question is how the system comes to know about dev. What exactly the dev here?
We need to configure at your application level some configuration like configuration properties. One global element is there to configure. Based on that, it will identify we are passing the runtime argument.
That will be
How
in
it will
WebLogic
identify
WebSphere, right?
whether it is dev or a prod, how it will be identified based on the key. Key will be configured in the application level. The value will you are passing here. Based on the key, it will be identified. Okay, shall we move on?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So, any other questions, Vishnu, Pranay, Prem?
Is it, Sujit, is it OS dependent, only Windows?
No, we have a Mac version as well.
But no
What about
Linux.
These are the
Linux?
batch phase related. Pardon? Linux, Mac, and Windows.
Okay.
When you are selecting this Anypoint Studio, also they will be given options like operating system. To observe
So the
that.
deployment will differ to Linux and Windows.
Here you can see there is no option for a. I mean, this is for Windows because I can able to see only the batch files here of Windows only, right?
Yeah,
That will
that's the
be
reason
shell
I'm asking.
script instead of batch script.
And
Johnny,
batch script.
here the runtime it would be shell script in a Linux environment.
Linux.
No, I'm asking the deployment steps will differ for Linux.
Same. Deployment steps will be the same. Deployment steps will be the same for all. It will not differ from OS to OS. No.
Okay, you're running a batch file, right? There,
I'm thinking that. Huh?
you're running here a batch file.
Batch file. There is also shell script file to run, right?
Yeah, that is what I'm asking. Is the, I mean, which path and all? Okay, the different environment setup, right? Completely there.
I have not seen about that one, but I heard that it is the same process. See, finally here it is pointing to mule underscore home. It is nowhere related to whether it is Windows or else shell scripting or not, right? If you see the
Okay.
wrapper file of Linux and all, then we might be. I mean, we can compare that.
Fine, okay.
Okay. So these all are actually admin related part. Why? Because why I told all this
No.
part here is.
Agree with you. Go ahead.
Yeah. Why I tell all part here is just learning about how to deploy the application and running the application, it doesn't work. We need to understand the internal how it works. Then only we can debug and we can fix the issues. That is the only point we drive here. Got it? Yes, no.
Yes.
So everyone are mute, silent. What happened? Then shall we move on?
Able to hear me? Yes. Go ahead, Sujit.
Now I'm able to hear. I think Prem, your mic is on mute till now. Mute in the sense there is no audio. Okay.
Is it,
So what is
is
our
it okay
next?
now, sir?
Yeah, now it is okay.
It's okay.
So next type of strategy. What is the next type of strategy we are talking about to discuss? Hybrid deployment. What do you mean by hybrid deployment? Don't tell
Combination
the
of
rest. Combination of
on-premise and cloud.
local and cloud. That's what I want to tell. Every time I'm getting the same statement. What do you mean by that? Okay, we'll discuss about that. So this is an on-premises, which is in a Bangalore location. Okay, and server is hosting over there. Assume this is the 4.3 server. Now, a developer don't compare with the CI/CD again in this use case. I have a developer who is developing the code, okay, in a Delhi location, and one more person who is developing the code in a Chennai location. I want them, whatever the code they have developed, I want them to deploy in a Bangalore location server, on-premises server. What can we do here? Yes.
We can connect using the host name and port number of that on-premise server and deploy it.
How can we deploy? By using the port number. Until unless if it is out there on the cloud. Okay, let me tell. In Mule, there is something called, some application called Runtime Manager. Runtime Manager, which is a part of your cloud platform. What is the cloud account name? Account name. Yeah, we discussed about this Anypoint platform. What are the different type of applications present on the Anypoint platform on the second session? Remember anyone?
Okay, so this is a distributed environment. Like if you see this is a distributed runtime manager means.
Yeah, please go ahead, Chandra. I think Chandra only, right? Speaking.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
Chandra,
that's what I'm
please go ahead.
saying. Runtime manager means it's a distributed environment, like to manage everything. Distribute. On different locations, we use this one, runtime manager.
Okay, let me put it in the way. Let me explain. Whether you can connect to that or not. Let's see. Runtime manager. Maybe you are right. Runtime manager, which is on the cloud platform. Okay, the Anypoint platform account. Now, whoever having this Anypoint platform account, they can log into this account, right? It's a cloud platform. From anywhere we can log into that account, right? Now, the person who is there in a Delhi location, I want them to deploy the code what they developed on a 4.3 server, which is hosting on a local environment. That means on-premise, which is in different location. What to do? First of all, we need to register this 4.3 server with a runtime manager, and we need to give some unique name. I'm just giving my name, right, for that server, right? Now, once I registered, is it hosting on a cloud? Do you think that is it hosting on a cloud? Only the metadata present on the cloud. Okay, in other words, simple language, we can tell that UI of your on-premise server is there on the cloud. UI, user interface. Do you have any UI for the on-premises runtime, which is on-premises runtime which you have seen in the before scenario? Do you have any UI for this server?
No.
No, right? Only we had done the copy paste to deploy the application and all. But here you can manage this runtime on a cloud platform. That means on a Anypoint platform, which is a cloud platform, right? And by using a runtime manager, we can register to that, right? Now, who are having this AnyPoint platform account from different location, they can log into that account. They can, there is one more tab called applications. By using that applications tab, they can upload the application. While uploading, they can choose which runtime they want to deploy. See, if I have one more runtime, can I register one more runtime also with the runtime manager? Yes, name itself suggests runtime manager. We can manage runtimes. So assume that I have one more runtime, right? While uploading the application, he can choose on which runtime he want to deploy. If it is 4.3, he want to deploy on 4.3, he can do it. If it is 4.2, he can do it. So on any runtime, he can deploy his application. But when he is deploying the application, is it deploying on a cloud or on premises?
On premise only.
On premise only, right? The point is here, I am trying to deploy the application through runtime manager to on premises runtime. So through runtime manager to on premises runtime. Got it? Clear? So first of all, we need to have a AnyPoint platform account. How to create that AnyPoint platform account? Anyone having AnyPoint platform account already? So just go to the browser, AnyPoint platform, or else directly I will give the link. Okay, sign up link. Just use that link. I'm just posting on my chat box. The chat box I sent to you. You can take that link directly. You can sign up. Right? Just give your full name, email address, phone number, company name, and user ID and password. Remaining mandatory fields and accept. It will create 30 days trial version. It will create only 30 days trial version. Okay, on a cloud platform. After 30 days, again, whatever your API is created under this, under this 30 days trial version, it will not be exported or imported to the another account. We cannot do that. Okay, just for a training purpose, they give this lenience. Okay, without any purchasing and all. Right? I have an account. Let me sign in. So this is my AnyPoint platform account. Every AnyPoint platform account, that means every account will have some admin account. Okay, one admin account, one business group, and Sujit Kumar is the owner for that right now. Right. So under this AnyPoint platform account, I have different applications. We talked about design center. What is the use of a design center?
To design the flow of the application.
No. Flow of the application in the sense
API design?
design.
API design?
Design API. Basically,
Yeah.
we are going to design the APIs over there, right? Next, Exchange. To publish any API or a fragment, whatever, if you want to publish, you can publish onto the Exchange. Next, access management is purely about admin level. Okay, we'll see at the end when I'm talking about a Cloud Hub. I'll just give a touch up on that. That means a brief on that. And not only that, how to create a proxy and all these things comes under a API manager. You know already how to create a proxy. I mean, just view. I have given a one-liner of what that application. Then we just right now we are discussing about a runtime manager. Click on the runtime manager. Once I create an account, sandbox, please use a sandbox. Right now we are not designing. We are going to sandbox is for a development environment with a less commodity service, less cost infrastructure. Now here we can see under the sandbox, we have a servers and application tabs. What is the first requirement? Once I have an account, we need to register this runtime with the runtime manager. Let me close all this previously so that I can show you fresh as a fresh application. Same application I'm going to deploy. That is the reason I'm deleting all this. Okay. Now first, there is a servers tab. Click on a servers. Click on add server. So If you are using Mule 3, Mule 4 or below, then you need to install the agent separately. What is the install? I will tell you. What is that agent? I will tell you. First, what is the first step? Define a unique name for your server. So it is the, I mean, this is the command. For that command, I am going to add name, some unique name for my server. See, when I'm writing this name, automatically it updated. Next, what to do? Execute this command from your server's bin directory. After the command runs, it will appear in the servers tab. So first copy that command, go to the bin directory of your server, on-premises server, and cd to the directory. So guys are able to follow me step by step?
Yes.
Am I fast? No, right?
Yes.
Okay. See, this is the command which given by the runtime manager, right? So here we need to do small change if you are using a Windows. Remove that dot and slash before the AMC underscore setup. So basically what I'm trying to do here, I'm trying to execute this batch file, AMC underscore setup batch file. So AMC is nothing but a any point manager, any point management center, which is nothing but a cloud again, right? Which is runtime manager on the cloud. So we are trying to execute this batch file. By executing this batch file, what happens here? It is trying to establish a connection between or a communication between your on-premises server and with your runtime manager. That means which is on a cloud, right? This is an on-premise. Who will create this communication? One agent, one Mule agent will be created. All agent related libraries will be unpacked. And once the agent is created, he is going to establish a connection between these two parties. If two countries are exchanging some agreement, that is called memorandum. Once they need to exchange the memorandum, right? So same case, two parties, this local environment and with the runtime manager, which is on a cloud, they need to establish a communication between those two. So who will create? The agent will be creating that communication. So by internally it will use two-way SSL verification, right? So let me show you that by clicking on this command. See, Mule agent is getting created and is going to establish a connection between these two parties, right? And where that keys will be stored, two-way SSL verification means what that keys, where that keys will be stored under your con folder. There are two files got created. You can see two files. What are the two files? Types of files.
JKS and XML.
Yeah.
YML. JKS file, YML. JKS.
JKS means
Java key store.
Java key store and YML. YML means YAML file at another markup language. Basically, YAML extension should be YAML unless they are creating a confusion here. YAML file. This is an YAML file, right? So just check whether the communication is established or not between these two. That means the Sujit one server, is it created? Yes. Now, how to start the runtime?
From our on-premises.
From bin folder.
Cloud can be
Bin folder, mule.bat.
Git command.
Go to the bin folder. Go to the bin folder. Batch file, right? The Mule runtime starts. Then, how to deploy your application once the Mule runtime starts?
Copy the file.
App folder.
Then what is the use of this runtime manager? Everything if you're doing from manually. The ultimate agenda is what? From the Delhi location, how can we copy paste into the folder which is in Bangalore location? Cannot do that. That is the reason any point runtime manager come into the picture. Through runtime manager, they can deploy onto the on-premises. No need to copy paste. Here, no?
Exchange.
What you can do? Once I will tell you. So here you can see status is deployed. The status is changed from created to running. That means your application is started successfully. That means not application, sorry. Mule runtime started successfully. Once it starts successfully, then what is the next step? Go to applications tab. Yeah, through applications tab, you can deploy the application. Which application? I want to go with the same application. Choose a file, upload a file. Which file? It is there on my desktop, right? 01 mule basic start. And can I select? As I said, I can select which runtime I can deploy. So if I click on a drop down, how many runtimes you're able to see?
One.
One.
One or two? How many runtimes I created? One?
One.
Yeah, that is the one. And since you are on a Cloud Hub environment, by default, it will be giving a Cloud Hub server. Got it? So it's up to you whether you want to choose it or not. If you're deploying directly on the Cloud Hub, that comes under Cloud Hub strategy, right? Right now, I want to go with the on-premises, right? And always you need to give that some unique name. I'm just giving some unique name like Java. Once it gives a unique name, then you can see the tick mark and deploy application. So what is the version you are using? 4.3 is the runtime which you are going to use, right? And this is the progress bar of your application, whether it is deployed, uploading or not deployment again. It is status of uploading. Let's have a look whether it will be today. Why it is slow? We can close this because already established.
So in real time also we need to have a valid any point. Cloud-based account. Yeah, and we have to do like this.
Yes.
Sujit, but to extend Chandra's question, who maintains all these deployments in real scenarios?
Admin level.
Admin level, okay.
Yes. Totally depends on the subscription packages what you are going to purchase with the MuleSoft. What organization purchases cloud account with the MuleSoft. Okay, total depends on the subscription package what they are going to take. So is it started? In class lo mali chestanu. Still it is getting started. Once it started, then we can give a request. So huge tasks I'm going to give based on this input what I have given, a hybrid model. Once I get an output, I will talk about the tasks, which will be very helpful. If you do it on your own, it will be very, very helpful. My application is getting initialized. Yeah, is it started now? Logs are showing as an started app. So Java. Yeah, here it is also started. Can I give a request? And just for a change, I'm giving a request. Am I getting a response now too? Yes. Yes, no.
Yes, we are getting responses.
Okay. If anyone want to take a note on the task what I'm going to do, you can take a note here. The first one is, so everyone understood, right? How to get and establish a connection between these two parties, and how to deploy the application and send a request to get a response.
Yes.
Understood or not?
Sujit, question.
Yes, yes. I think
Yeah.
it
So
is
when you
Prem.
build, yeah, it is Prem. So when you build the server, right,
Yeah.
you named it Sujit1, right? So still the local host, can you use the server name and try and calling that?
Come again. In those are the tasks I'm going to give it to you.
Okay, fine. Okay.
Okay. I will tell the task. If it is apart from that, you can ask me again. Okay.
Okay, fine. Okay.
The first task is, see, I have created one application, one runtime. Registered one runtime with the runtime manager and tried to deploy the application. Right now, I want you to register same what I have done. Try to register the server first time. Second time also try to register the same server. Whether you use a different name or not, it's up to you. Okay, try with the both by giving the same name and by giving the different names. Whether it is allowed or not, first check with that. If it is allowed, fine, well and good. If it is not allowed, why it is not allowed, and how your runtime manager knows whether that runtime is already registered with the runtime manager or not. Okay, when you do the registration by using the same server, you will understand that point, right? If at all it is throwing some exception, it is very self-explanatory. It will only write in 2 lines with it. I mean, a very understandable way they have written. Please read that and try to rectify that problem. Why I'm giving all this task? Because you need to observe all this, right? What's the first task? Try to register the same server with the runtime manager, right? Next. Second task is about, of course, I have given only one runtime with you. You will not get any other runtime from the website also. What you can do? Just try to edit the name of this Mule EE distribution standalone 4.3 like this. What I have done here, Mule EE distribution, right? So try to edit the name. It will be treated as an one more server, different path, and try to register this server also. That means second server, what you edited, that server also with the runtime manager, another server. Okay, that is the second one. The third task, final task is, you have 2 servers right now. One is the first one, and once you edited the server and you registered again, 2 servers are running on your machine. Now on 2 servers, try to deploy the application, Java application. Deploy application. You try to deploy the same application on both the servers at a time once, or else first deploy on the first server and try to deploy on a second server. It's totally up to you how you want to do it. Finally, I want you to observe what happens on all these scenarios. Okay, so I'm expecting the answers by tomorrow's session. Will you do it for me, guys? Please understand the requirement first carefully. First understand the requirement carefully, then you can write, then you can write the answers in a correct way. Otherwise, the requirement itself you are understanding wrong. Entire day you'll thinking in the same wrong way. So please try to understand the requirements. Gathering the requirements are very, very important. So is it clear? If it is not, repeat that video multiple times. Or else if you want me to tell again, I will tell.
One more thing, Sujit, like to access the application, because we are installing this, or we have 2 servers, right? So the port number will be the same.
That's what I want you to observe. That.
Okay, fine.
To observe all these things only, I have given this task.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.